Yes, while at the same time, our heart and minds and soul all over to the SKD. Because we know today it's gonna be a do or die battle. Whether you like it or not, we're gonna beat South Africa. Okay? So doing like it, you're lucky. Liberia must qualify. And I'm going to ride my keke from here straight to Ivory Coast. I don't be sitting on the Cocody or to Ajame or to Day Plateau or better still to no. Okay, so that's it. I enjoy a few bars of the music. And of course, coming up next will be the ABC High Talk, where we talk tough about the character of assassination.
Hey everyone, it's your girl Latanya on Miss Royalty Baby, and I want everyone in Liberia to know that I love listening to you.
Hi there, you're with ABC Radio 105.1 FM.
This is ABC Radio 105.1 FM.
Every household in Monrovia. That's why we are absolutely
live
one.
from the King's Building in Monrovia, Broad and Buchanan Street. This is
ABC 105.1 FM.
Kata.
Good afternoon, Monrovia. Good afternoon, Painesville. Good afternoon, every Liberian with their flag all around their neck there. That's just fine. I heard him posting question, to the chief executive. That's ABC Radio for you. Whatever you are in Monrovia, I know you guys are radio to your ears, listening to the commentary, but at the same time, don't forget now, something good going on outside here too. 105.1. Yes, new twice on your radio. If you're watching us from the diaspora, I want to say welcome to the all-important platform where we discuss the issues for the character. Yeah, coming out this afternoon, Justin Najivic will be playing host to one of Liberia's best. He's a colleague journalist, but I faith could have it in life. He gravitated to another level in life, and he's pretty seated. He's one of the media, developer, analyst. Well, it's very difficult to introduce people of that caliber. But Julius Cannava will be my guest this afternoon. So be there while I'm here. Let's enjoy a few bars more of this music. And of course, when we come back, the best is yet to come. So be there when I'm here. Okay. So enough is enough. The team song. Yeah, you enjoying yourself with the team song. But let's take this musical break. When we come back, indeed, this station got a lot to offer for you. So just be there. I'm here, and let's enjoy ourselves.
This is the sound of radio, the world's most powerful media. 105.1 is your best dial.
Another hits jam from whiteloaded.com.
What a beautiful instrumental African. By Kiss Daniels now. And who is there? Wayaba. Okay, enjoy yourself. Don't forget now, entertainment is part of our doing here. Don't think I can't dance. I can't dance more than anybody in the building. Ask them. One competition, I beat all of them. I won a trophy. Okay, the program is ABC's I Talk. That's the entertainment section. Because my guest is just in the corner and he will be in a jiffy. Okay.
Another hits jam from WAPloaded.com.
The world's most powerful beat. 105. Your best dial.
Okay, to bring down the music and start a little something why the guests trying to find a way. Because you know the traffic congestion, people trying to go back to Pinsville, and other people are fighting hard to come on the other side. But he just read around Central Monrovia, actually. It's not far from here. So he is my guest, and he will be here in a jiffy. In a jiffy, he will be here. He's Julius Canabar, his name. Julius Canabar is his name, and he will be here. My digital technician is here. Ishmael Smith is here with me, and he's doing everything humanly possible to make sure that you see us in America, in Europe, Asia, and Southern America, whatever you can get the signal, you know, pick up radio. Technology make it so easy nowadays that you can get people anywhere from anywhere, you know. So that's it. So you enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself while we're there. We are here. Okay, so today Lone Star is playing. That's why the father will come and talk on issues of national concern. Lone Star is playing today. What they said that you think that for me, if you ask me, it's all about Liberia. It's not about political party. So if Lone Star do wins in bad, we all as Liberians take the glory. It's not a group of people. So let other turn on, because I understood some of the gates. The sitting capacity are still open. They think we don't have been in South Africa. In fact, from this morning, people will be trooping there up to this time. They'll be asking everybody to stay home. Liberians, gather the courage, go there. That red, white, and blue. It's because I have this national duty to come and sit there to talk to you. That's the reason why I'm here. But other than that, I thought to be in that place today. I mean, my slinger, my short trouser, my t-shirts, yelling and shouting on top of my voice, and to join the other people to celebrate Liberia, because we the oldest, you know, like listen to the president. We need that game. He said we are the oldest in Africa, and we need to do the different. We need that game to go to Africa's next door here. Trust me, I will be in Africa eating my Galagba and eating my Acheke. Trust me, eating my Aloko, you know, and enjoy myself. I will go for that game. As long as I start going, I am there. And by the way, I'm an Ivorian by from Mansa, I'm an Ivorian. So if you want to know, my mother is an Ivorian. Though she's dead and gone, but she's an Ivorian, because I got to know when I got over to the Ivory Coast during the war. I saw this the group of young, not older men, I mean, but one of them looked just like my mother, my late mother. I almost ran away. I said, my late mother turned to Manson now. So they said, no, I wanted your mother, you know, her brother. I said, wow. You know, the Yakoba tribe is the same as the Gio tribe in Liberia now, so don't get it wrong. We got to intermarry something. In fact, we got the same culture. The same with the fix the GB, the same with the both fix the GB up there. So it's no different. Like we're making and drew boundaries, say, oh, you for this side and you for the other side. So that's why it's giving you a problem today. But all in all, the problem is that Liberians, Ivorians, Sierra Leonean, Guineans, and what have you, we are all one group of people. Nobody should fool you, say, oh, the men are different men. Check the Grover they speak, what they can call Bete, they speak in the Ivory Coast, and the one they speak in Maryland. It's the same. The Crown is speaking Liberia, in Monrovia, in Liberia, and the one they speak. And sorry for that little break. They want to speak, the Crown is speaking in Grand Jide, and the one they speak in Ivory Coast. It's the same. Nothing changed, Liberian. So we are one. We are one group of people. But the white man brought his demarcation, say, oh no, you from this side, you did that and that and the other rest. So, but as far as I'm concerned, my history tells me that we are one. Our people migrated from the upper side of Sudan and came out of one side, especially the down tribe. They came from the first at the Sudan end, and they landed up into the Ivory Coast, and they spread up here to across the river, because it's a very big river that divine Liberia and to that of Ivory Coast. So they came across the water and they make farm, and today you got a country called Liberia, you got a town called Demple, you got a town called Butro, you got a town called Zongwe, and all of those things. These are the same type of people that came from outside. They enter here and things are moving on with them. Okay, so like I said, my guest is just around the corner, but I take again. Let me see my musical folder. What do I have here? Yes, let me play something again. Then, of course, I know when he comes, then we will continue from there. But be my guest. I'm here and you are there, and let's enjoy the best. But he also moves around here.
Beats. Yeah, I'm on such ready. Blessings, you call me blessings. These my blessings can all be touching. I know my level, my man, don't stress me. If I bless me, I'm here to party. I want war, yellow zombie. I want body, that pro, yellow zombie. Batten up, bring a yellow zombie. I got a party, people dancing, yellow zombie. Sanko. Me, I want to wear a paco. Wait, bring the liquor. The poor man, someone spend the paper. Wait, bring the liquor. The poor man, someone spend the paper. I said nobody. I want party. I want you to go down low. I want you to find it slow. Mama, you rock the show. Ready to spend some more. And I'm gonna, sit down, I'm gonna check it. See, I said no time for check. Man, I want you to dance like you ready, don't care. Dance for the zombie style. It's me and you, mama, no more stress. I want to dance, I feel myself. I want war, yellow zombie. I want body, that pro, yellow zombie. Batten up, bring a yellow zombie. Got a party, people dancing, yellow zombie.
When Uncle T-shirt fail, I let you them want a photo. Yeah, that do or die when the sugar come around. You know, when I move bless me, if Papa bless me, yes, what bless me, you cannot stop me. Oh, the money can never go low. You say they have got no heavy low. Papa fire me on Papa. Ragazza no removing this time. I bless you first, go up the transformer. A blessing full of respect.
Okay, you want to walk like zombie? That's my man Dench and his boy there enjoying themselves with zombie. Okay, so let's bring down the music and of course and enjoy the discussion that is pending. Julius is already in studio and he's seated. The technicians are trying to do the best they can to make sure to get in on a live screen, making sure that he goes around the world like myself. How you are looking at me in Egypt, in Ivory Coast, in Abidjan, in China, in Australia. Though it is nighttime there in China and in Australia, it's midnight hours because they are 8 hours ahead of us. And of course, they are looking. Don't worry. Liberians are following activities that are going on here, especially today. Lone Star playing. A lot of people tune in and the various network and things are happening. So rest assured. But my guest is here, and we are about to kickstart and our discussion. We will enjoy ourselves. So be there. I'm here, and he on the other side, and I'm here too. But in the meantime, this is it. I want you to make sure, prepare yourself. Just take the pen and paper because he's an educator. Yeah, the boy is not small boy. He's an educator. A very good talker. He's a prolific journalist, I would say. Yes. Okay, so we are about to start up. Okay, we are about to start up. So there we go. Okay, Julius, it is my pleasure having you up here in studio. Yeah.
Thank you very much for the invitation. It's a pleasure also being in your midst. I appreciate the fact that you continue to do broadcasting. Okay. I'd like to tell you thank you, along with the management and staff of the ABC family, especially so wherein you are engaged into the dissemination of information, the analysis of issues and events within and outside of our country. And that will be very good of you. I mean, since you've been broadcasting, especially with the resumption of your broadcasting, it's been very good for the public.
Okay, thank you very much for that introductory, remark. Again, to start with, let's start from our own backyard. You'll be a media practitioner. I normally call you one of the media developer. What is your own impression so far on the Liberian media?
Well, the Liberian media is very big, and sometimes you don't want to overly generalize in terms of the performance.
Okay, but if you care to, you can put in category
of the media. And before you do an evaluation of the media in terms of giving a specific result as to the quality of a specific media institution or the media in general, you have to take time to listen to the different programs. You have to take time to read the different newspapers. Also, the sort of upsurge in social media use, especially by journalists.
Right.
So, my standalone journalists, meaning one journalist, one online platform.
Right.
Some say online television.
Right.
But just live streaming, right? And so the media has been performing. The performance might not be 100%. It might not be around 80%.
We should get 500%.
Yes, because there are different sort of challenges in terms of ethical issues, in terms of analysis, in terms of the sourcing, and then broadcasting wise, in terms of the professionalism of some of the people you have on air. Some might not necessarily be good broadcaster or quality broadcasters, but they are performing. But that should not take away from those who are, performing in line with ethical standards of journalism, with professionalism, doing different sorts of analysis, and presenting issues to the people on the basis of different sources that are accurate, credible, and balanced in a way that people will say, yeah, this is a fact, meaning something that is verifiable, that we can pinpoint at, who say, yeah, Joe is in red today, and his red has got blue line in it or black line in it. Something that is not disputable. But yeah, the media faces a lot of challenges, and it's good. You are, still rendering your services to the journalism community.
Let me square it. Bring it to the on-air personality, or better still, broadcasting. You think we're doing service or the service to the people of Liberia because we feed them with politics morning, politics afternoon, politics night? You think we're really doing well for them?
Well, one of the responsibilities of the media is to motivate people to get involved in political activities, but also to allow people to making their independent decisions. Liberia is hardly a politicized country. In terms of, after Civil War, a lot of things are associated with politics. And by politics, I mean making something public and also looking at people who are involved in decision-making positions within our country, like power, for example, people who are holding power. So you tend to see that the media is tilted mostly towards reporting on and having some conversations on politicians. And this is, of course, a result of maybe our education, so to
Mm.
speak,
Mm.
or what we are told about how to write news, for instance. Who are the people that we should focus on?
Mm.
Because one of the basic elements or principles that we learn in journalism is that news is prominence.
Right.
So, who in Liberia will you want to consider as a prominent presence
Now, okay,
in terms of reporting?
Julius,
So, in that sense,
that's the ticket. But let me just
yeah,
come
you,
in. Let me
you
just
will
come in
see
quick.
that most
Then you can flow.
most
Yeah.
of the journalists, you either go to people in the legislature,
Right.
the executive, or the judiciary.
We should can take. We
Yeah,
get.
but it does not mean you should not report on,
Yeah.
for instance, environmental issues.
This is what I'm coming to.
On economic issues.
Yes.
For instance, before you come in, when I graduated from high school, I was interested in journalism. I started working at ELBC as trainee, cub reporter, intern before I got elevated. I started to cover the UN system in the country, the UN mission in Liberia, OMIL.
Okay.
We toured the entire country. We went to Sierra Leone, where Mr. Charles Taylor, the former president, was taken. So I was interested now in diplomatic issues, peace building stuff, development stuff.
Right.
But at a certain stage, when I entered the university, I think it was in 2006, and then I registered to do mass communication. I mean, journalism, media.
Yeah.
But I look at myself, I said, but I've spent, few months, close to 2 years in journalism. Right. Or 3 years practicing journalism at the state radio.
Right.
Do I need to read mass communication? So since most
Because
of us,
you felt you had a fundamental.
I had some
The
practical
the
ideas.
fundamental,
I
that's
was also
right.
reading.
Right.
Then I said, okay, I have to change college. Joe Mwamba, your namesake, right? Joe,
Right.
yeah.
Mhm.
So I went and said I want to do economics, and I want to change my college from the college,
mass communication,
communication, so to speak, the college of humanity, going to the business college.
Okay.
And I said I want to do economics. Joe said, no, Julius, you're already practicing journalism, so you need now to come to school to be a professional journalist by learning different sorts of information about journalism, educationally or academically. Then I got caught between the sisters. I said, no, but if I do economics, it is possible I can become a good journalist reporting on economic issues, right? So I went to school, and he got convinced. It took 2 weeks before he could give me the college transfer slip because he has to sign. But I already made my mind that I wanted to do economics. So in Liberia, you found that most of our journalists, right, they are not doing mass communication. Some have very public administration, and they don't read some of those difficult subjects because economics, yes, is simple, but it's mathematical.
Right.
So you wouldn't like to go suffer yourselves, learning all of the econometrics, the mathematics about supply and demand, right? Marginal utility. People will say, no, Julius, we don't want to have those sort of conversations on the media. But again, it's very important. And we've been thinking, we said, but in Liberia, there is no newspaper, for instance, that is dedicated to reporting about economic issues.
That's right.
Because broadcasting is
environmental
also
issues.
Yeah, environmental issue.
Right.
Because broadcasting is also an economic dimension to broadcasting. Like for instance, you want to know the revenue sources of ABC,
right?
For example, how do you get advertisement, for example? So you have to look at the market, right? So you can be able to divide Montserrat into different parts. You see the types of business people in the country, and can these business people be able to support ABC through maybe advertisement or through special programs? And on the other hand too, you have to inform the people about the issue of import and export. So for example, in Liberia, we do a lot of importation of rice, right? And we normally say our staple food is rice, which is of course something true, right?
Yeah.
And we are not producing. So economically now, you have to start to report about the effects of the importation of rice in the country on agricultural productivity in Liberia. Because there has been this big debate in Liberia, right? That Liberians or Liberia as a whole is a fertile land. And we have all of the land, but we don't produce the food that we should eat. We are importing. And all of the things that we export, we don't transform these things into the finished product. So economically, you don't have specialized journalists who are reporting on some of these issues, telling the people. For instance, if you ask me today, how much does a cup of rice on average cost? I will start to scratch my head because I've not been listening to any radio station that is dedicated to reporting on the cost of rice, right?
Right.
Or how much does a plate of rice cost you know, at Olapa, Bido,
Mm-hmm.
for instance, because some of us, when you reach a certain level, you now want to eat Olapa Bido.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you want
But
to
they cook-
graduate.
they cook well.
Yeah, fine. I mean, they do cook
they
well.
cook well.
Yeah, I do eat from Olapa Bido, so to
Right.
speak,
Mhm.
because they cook well, the taste, and it's a
Mhm.
Liberian taste, so to
Right.
speak. But you can be able now to start reporting on different economic issues. So the issue of the environment, for example, I mean, it has only been recently where you have a group of journalists now, they are dedicated to
Yeah,
environmental
but
journalism.
my concern is, and Julius, and like you rightly put it, the BBC herself, BBC normally don't take journalists. They take people in specialized area and they drag you through the coins or the do's and don'ts of journalism. That's what they always say. Okay, let's go to Julius Canova, who are expert in economics.
Yeah.
Let's go to Joanna, who is expert in environmental reporting. You understand? But here in Liberia, it is because we politicize everything that while we allow ourselves when we go to the University of Liberia. After doing what you get from over there, the next thing is you hear the men talking about I'm a talk show host.
Yeah.
Politics characterize our entire discussion, and people feel this is what I have problem with. Our audience who listen to us feel that if you don't talk politics, then you want to be a journalist, so to speak, in Liberia. But I'm not. I don't believe in the too much of politics, because what is happening is that we deny our people. I want to ask you a question. We deny our people those things they need to know. As we said, a lot of good things are happening in the communities, but we don't hear about it. Somebody had taken an initiative to put, to irrigate a little pond, and he growing, a buka, what called buka there?
The fish,
tilapia. Somebody had taken an initiative to make a backyard garden that is supplying whole supermarket. These are human interests.
Yep.
Environmental related kind of story, but you don't hear it much. It will give them even a thought, maybe that's something like 2-3 minutes, but we'll get politics 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes. Anyway, so but
but sometimes you said it perfectly right. Sometimes to the audience in Liberia now has been tilted towards politics,
which is harming them.
Yeah, which is harming them, and it's a result of us.
Yes,
who are mediating the message, so to speak, as journalists,
right?
Who are feeding them with this sort of information.
Yeah.
So if you continue to feed the audience with political developments,
right,
most likely they will be accustomed. Or they'll get used to this issue of politics. So, for example, if you had a radio station that is focusing, on developmental issues, like for instance, road construction. You talk about the BBC. There was this BBC journalist who was from Ghana. He died, Komla. Komla Dumor.
Yeah.
And he started his journalism reporting on the traffic.
That's right.
In Accra.
Yeah.
Accra.
You're one of my role models.
Yeah, he was one of the best.
Yeah,
yes.
I was in Ghana at the time.
Accra was traffic prone at that particular time, and it's been for a few years now. I've not been there because they've been, developing, so to speak, with roads.
They're far better now.
Yes. So he started to report on traffic.
Right.
So where is the traffic in Liberia at this particular time? So you hear Komla Dumor reporting. That's how the BBC spotted him. I know he went to school in the States. He got a PhD, and then he came back into the journalism profession. I think he might have done a PhD in medicine, so to speak. He was reading something to become a doctor. But then he had this particular calling as a journalist or to the field of journalism. So yes, I mean, we need dedicated reporters to different, topical issues of our country. Yeah. For me, I like politics, so to speak, because whatever we do is oriented with politics. And politics is not just what people might just take it to be. You want to politicize something. To politicize something is to make it public. That's my simple definition. It's not to use it at a disadvantage of another person. Because politics is about making something public, negotiating on it, debating some of these issues so that the society can change. So for instance, when I covered the legislature, because the legislature, the House of Representatives, the Senate, and those two institutions, they are mostly targeted or aimed at political decision making.
Right.
So in that particular instance, if you're reporting on the budget, you look at the political aspect of the budget, then you also look at the economic aspects of the budget, you look at the environmental aspects of the budget, because the budget is a fiscal policy of the country. For instance, the central bank, right? People can say, oh yeah, don't politicize the central bank. But hey, if the central bank is making decision that will impact on the livelihood of people within the political geography of Liberia, you obviously have to make the central bank discussion or public discussion. In as much it is economic, even the environment, discussing environmental issues, let's say natural resource governance. I mean, I've been doing research on Nimba County when I was in Sweden before I came to Liberia, where I was doing rural development and natural resource governance. You found out that the first sets of community-based natural resource management institutions in the forestry sector, they were set up in Nimba County and Sando County. And why? Because the government that we had at the time and previously, even presently, they will want to take a large trunk or lane, give it to, quote unquote, investors without consulting the local people. Right. So in that sense, in as much it is environmental issues or economic issues, but it impacts on the livelihood of the people. That's how around Bole, I mean, all of these small Nimba towns around Sanikole area, the guys started to protest. They protested. And when the agents from the FDA went there, they protocol assist, our people in certain parts of our counties. They like to protect their territory.
Of course.
They drove the FDA agents out of the place. So you know what happened? The US government had to come back, discuss with the Liberian government, and then went back to the community. That's how the issue of community forest management started in Liberia in 2006. Started to engage because the people were not benefiting from the resources adjacent.
Meanwhile, they are the custodians of the land.
Because, I mean, if you read the history of Liberia, in as much we do say, yes, Liberia was established or founded from 1822, from 1821, 1847, we got independence. But what we do the mistake of is that the land that we call Liberia was existing before Liberia. And that land was inhabited by people. And those people, they have descendants who are continuing to live. So if you go in the villages and you want to take up a large piece of land to give it to investors, people say no. So in that particular aspect, since they were relating to natural resource conservation, the environment, how to conserve the environment in terms of sustainability, and then there was a political aspect of it where the government wanted to use its power in 2006 to take the land from the people and to create that East Nimba Nature Reserve. So when the people rejected it, they had to go into the negotiation table. They had to go on the table. And as part of that now, instead of environment, we'll say it's environmental politics. Yes, although it has an economic dimension because the issue of livelihood. You can come to the radio station and say, Joe should not enter this radio station when Joe has struggled to build the radio station. And he has invested his resources, his time, his energy. So in that sense, yes, politics is not just about maybe the lawmakers or the president. No, it's about some of the day-to-day things that we do. Even right now, I'm discussing politics, but because we're making certain things public and how the society can be able to use the information that we give to debate the information is also politics.
Okay, Julius, let me hold you there. It's like 33 minutes after 4 o'clock. So actually, I told you when I gave you the call, I actually invited you today for us to look at issues that are interplaying within the African continent, America. I quite vividly remember some time back the Biden administration call almost all of the African leaders to America for the African Summit.
Yeah, US-Africa Summit.
Right. In that meeting, he promised to visit Africa, as to continue the partnership. And and I know, Liberia is always considered an ally to America. But interestingly, the Vice President of America, Kamala Harris, over the week touched down in Accra, Ghana. And I was shocked.
Why are you shocked?
Yeah, I was shocked because
are you President Biden that you want her to come to Liberia?
Okay, that's a good point. That's a good point you're raising. But my shock came from the fact that I am your ally. Look at the whole West African region: Ghana, British, Guinea, France, then Sierra Leone, British. Liberia is the only American, small brother or whoever it is you may consider ally here. you feel comfortable in a British man territory than who you consider your ally. So I was wondering what had gone wrong that your ally is just an hour and I'm just 45 minutes away from where you landed, and from there you pick up, you went straight to East Africa. So I said, no, this thing is require a discussion. So I am thinking, what went wrong? That Biden promised to visit, because once you see the vice president of the Republic of the Great America touching down on your soil, it means that the president had already been there and gone, because she or he may bring the message that the president is supposed to, have given. So I'm wondering what went wrong.
Well, Liberia has got a special relationship with America, as we normally say. When I was attending the Gabriel L. Dennis Foreign Service Institute at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, my professor, and I hope I'm still getting him right. I know before he comes to debunk me, he said this issue of the special relationship between America and Liberia is just a muff talk. It's not something special. America has always got relationship with different countries around the world, and their relationships with those countries like Liberia, those relationships are based on the national security interests of America. So if the American administration, let's say the Biden administration, does not see Liberia as 100% a national security issue or a national interest issue, I'm not saying they have not seen, but if they don't see, or if they have priorities, or they are targeting certain countries in Africa, you'll see they will send the most senior leaders from the United States. They will send them to those countries. So you mentioned the issue of Kamala Harris, the vice president. She was in Ghana. She will be heading to Tanzania and then to Zambia. And so, 3 nations, one in West Africa and then in the other region of Africa. And so I've been reading the different media reports about the visit, and what I've been able to gather is the issue of the influence of, so to speak, nations that are in the BRICS brackets.
Right.
BRICS, you mean Brazil, for instance, Russia, India, China, South Africa. They've been projecting themselves